Guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you doing? So today I bring this gist for you guys. Let's dive into it together.
Research reveals that Black leaders face many unique challenges that white leaders do not face. The first challenge is the constant scrutiny and pressure to perform, which can be overwhelming. Studies have shown that Black leaders are often held to higher standards than their white counterparts, and when they fail, they are more likely to be blamed for the organization's failures. This scrutiny can lead to feelings of isolation and burnout. Additionally, Black leaders often face what is known as the double bind, a situation where they are expected to adhere to both white and Black cultural norms. This creates a challenge and balancing act where Black leaders must navigate between two worlds while staying true to their own identities. Research suggests that this constant balancing act can be emotionally and mentally draining. Also, Black leaders often face resistance from their peers and subordinates, who may be resistant to following their leadership. This resistance can stem from both conscious and unconscious biases, which can be difficult to address. A study conducted by the Center for Talent Innovation found that 64% of Black professionals reported that they faced bias from their colleagues. Black leaders often face limited opportunities for advancement. This is due to a variety of factors, including the lack of diversity in leadership positions and the fact that Black leaders are often pigeonholed into specific roles. A study conducted by the Center for American Progress found that only 10% of Fortune 500 CEOs are Black. Black leaders often face the challenge of being perceived as a threat. This perception can be due to the unconscious biases that people hold, and it can be manifested in the form of microaggressions, such as being interrupted during meetings or having their ideas dismissed without consideration. A study conducted by the Harvard Business Review found that Black professionals were 3.5 times more likely than their white counterparts to report experiencing racial bias in the workplace. Despite these challenges, many Black leaders continue to make significant contributions to their organizations and communities. However, it is important to acknowledge the systemic racism that they face and work to address it. The challenges faced by Black leaders due to systemic racism are numerous and significant, including constant scrutiny and pressure to perform, navigating the double bind, facing resistance from peer and subordinates, and limited opportunities for advancement, and being perceived as a threat. It is crucial that we recognize and work to address these challenges to create a more equitable and inclusive workplace for all leaders.
All right, this might be an unpopular opinion, but I'm sick and tired of this narrative that we are always getting less or the shorter end of the stick. I'm not saying discrimination does not exist. I'm not saying that racial inequities are not real. Those are very real things. However, what I am noticing is that there's always saying Black people or people of color get the shorter end of the stick. And those things are true, but when is the narrative ever going to be about what we can do about those racial inequities or the discrimination or the fact that it's not a fair level playing field? Because if we only focus on the fact that we don't get equal opportunity, it's only reinforcing the idea that we'll never be equal. So just food for thought, if we could just focus on the solution, it's already been clear there's a problem. But what are the solutions to the problem? I have this other theory that people only focus on the problem as a way of further oppressing, but that's a whole different TikTok.
And water is wet.
Hey, what's up on the Black hand side? Okay, go back and watch that whole video and then come back. All right, so one of my followers sent this video to me, asked me, penny for your thoughts, Mo. And I guess it's because of the workplace tea, or maybe you follow my other page. But anyway, so my thoughts on this is, no shit, Sherlock. Anybody who's working in corporate America as a Black person today, we've been new to this. We've been true to this. We've been new to the game. I'm gonna further put a little gravy on this rice and say not only when it comes to the respectability politics of it, when it talks about how you have to separate yourself, as a black person in this space, and then, assimilating into, the Whîte culture, then also as a woman, you have to navigate that bullshit in a whole nother way. And even that has two sides and two sections to it, because respectability politics as a black woman with black people versus being a black woman with Whîte people is two separate things. Which is probably why it's difficult to diagnose motherfuckers on the spectrum, because I done spent all this goddamn time trying to traverse and frogger my ass through all of these minds and do this but don't do that, say this but don't say that, be this way but don't be that way, and all the rest of this shit. Shit, it's a wonder I'm not psychotic. Or am I? And absolutely 10,000% on that whole, you got to produce, you got to have results. Because like I done told you before, I go into organizations as a fixer. And when I tell you categorically and emphatically every single motherfucking time I walk into these spaces, I have to be Puff the Magic Negro in terms of what I pump out versus anybody that ever had. I don't care in the history of the whole goddamn organization. If some shit ain't been done, they expect more to do it. And I can't lie, I have done some fantastical shit in my day. But when I also tell you, after I got through with all that fantastical shit, they are still giving the awards, giving the praise, and giving the raise to Mediocre Mike. And honestly, in my youth, that shit used to piss me off. It used to grind my fucking gears. But age calms the rage. And at this point, I don't need your praises. I don't need your perks. I don't need your president's awards. I don't need none of that shit. Give me my check and put some respect on it.
This video, I'm going to talk a little bit about my corporate experience in America. I'm an immigrant. I'm from Jamaica. My name is Spencer. I'm a designer, and I worked at a tech company, and that experience was wonderful. I learned a lot of amazing things, and at the same time, I got to a point where I felt like I couldn't progress. I couldn't get any further, despite my domain knowledge, expertise, my skill set, and people who knew me. I just couldn't get ahead. And, there was one experience that stuck out to me, and I had a meeting with a bunch of white executives. I pitched an idea, and it had something to do with one of our flagship products. And when I pitched that idea, I was ridiculed. Straight up, people were laughing at the idea. No way that would work. That's stupid. We're not going to do that. Fast forward a few weeks or maybe a couple months, we have a meeting with the chief marketing officer. Well, he became the chief product officer. And in that meeting, he proposed the same idea. And you know what? Everyone fell in line, accepted his idea, and started marching forward with it. But it was really my idea.
So mind control has been a real thing, you feel me? CIA Ben did that shit, you feel me? Honestly, I thought that was old news to people, for real, for real. It's called MK Ultra. Your favorite celebrities are a part of it. All the basketball, well, I ain't gonna say all of them, but the majority of the basketball players, you feel me, they're a part of it. That's why y'all need to stop idolizing people. But psychics are like a real certified thing, because the CIA was working with them to do like some weird remote viewing shit, which is really just a code name for astral projection. Reptilians are real. Spirits are real. Really being able to travel outside your body is real. It's the fact that a lot of our household things mess up our body's endocrine system, like laundry detergent and fabric softener. There are other civilizations on other planets. Black people were never slaves in Africa, brought over to America on a boat. That doesn't make sense. Magic is real. Our bodies were never designed to eat meat. The children's movies and stuff, Disney period, is evil. And you should prepare for what's to come. Comment for part 3.
Abraham Lincoln didn't free us from slavery. We freed ourselves. Look up the Gullah Wars. No celebrity is your friend. Stop believing in them. They're either already dead and cloned, or they're demons who drink baby blood. Especially in the music industry. You don't get big without making sacrifices. You either sacrificing booty or a family member. The only thing stopping us from freedom is unity and utilizing free energy technology. The jab has microdot technology, which is being used to monitor your cellular activity. Not cell phone activity, your actual cell activity. Bill Gates has a patent that allows him to use biological information as cryptocurrency. If only 1% of us stop focusing on the negative things in the world, then we can actually manifest things that benefit the whole of humanity. You have to be the one in your family to stand up for what you know is right. You have to be the one in your friend group to stand up for what you know is right, regardless of backlash. If you're telling people that Jesus is the devil, It doesn't matter if you're right, you're stopped.
It's your boss's responsibility to develop you. We know they play a part, but who is ultimately responsible for your growth? It's you. Now, many people won't agree with this sentiment. In fact, research reveals that 70% of you expect your boss to provide development and mentorship to help you grow in your career. But that same research also revealed that 98% of managers believe it's your responsibility to improve your skills and grow on your own. In other words, feel how you want, help is likely not coming. Consider why, though. Like, even if a manager wanted to develop you, could they? Many managers weren't adequately developed themselves. So how can they develop someone else? You can't give what you don't have. Your boss was once like you, clamoring for a pay raise and a little recognition, which in most cases is best accomplished through competition and stepping on the people around them in order to be seen. That competitive conditioning doesn't just go away once you get promoted. It actually gets worse because that drive is validated. People get corner offices and pay raises for outshining and outpacing you. Why would they stop now? A poor manager will likely see you as a threat, and most people don't want to train up their own competition. Now, you might be thinking, isn't it in a company's best interest to develop their people? Yes. Yes, it is. But that would make too much sense, and companies don't make sense because they're too focused on making a dollar. Somebody missed that. But seriously, they'd rather hire and fire people at the level they need them at than to take the time to pour into a loyal employee and build them up. Many managers got promoted because they were technically gifted, but they were simultaneously relationally and conceptually inept. That means they had no idea how to build meaningful relationships or how to share ideas in constructive ways, both of which are necessary to develop others. This is why you have to make the biggest investment in yourself. Don't wait for an empty well to pour into you. Be intentional about filling yourself up so that one day, when you're a leader, someone may actually benefit from following.
Thank you so much for watching to the end. If you have not yet subscribed, please don't forget to subscribe. Just feel free to leave your opinion down below what you think about this video. And don't forget to turn on your notification too. Anytime I upload a video, you will be notified. Bye bye.